Hello again, and you join me today in a very, very remote place indeed. This is a place called Saunders Island in the Falklands. It's way up in the northwest, and it's a place that I did my R&R here when I was in the Falklands, just over there in those little huts. We had a hut, and there was only us here. There was only about 5 of us on the whole island, I think. And it was fantastic. Great few days. Anyway, we're going to be doing a quick flight today from here back to Mount Pleasant Airfield. So without further ado, I'm going to bring the power up. We've got a very, very short runway, so I'm going to bring the power up and release the brakes, bringing the power up as much as I can take it. There we go, starting to squirm, and bingo, full power, trundling down the runway. You should try and get enough speed, aiming for those bollards there. Keep it going, keep it going. Speed's coming up, 60, 70, 80, 86 knots, 9, there we go, just enough before we hit the oil drums. Get the gear up, gear is up, and bring the flaps up. Bring the flaps up, come on. Flaps are up, okay. And we'll get in the climb. We don't need our landing and taxi lights, we'll take them off. So here we go. So again, yes, we're in the Texan T6. This is the T6A. As it's known, the T6 Texan 2, but the RAF, of which this is an RAF version, the RAF know this as the T1. Very confusing, the whole thing. If you're like me, gets confused easily. But there you go. It's a good plane though. It's very responsive. I think my cockpit is it's a little bit blurry, if I'm honest, on the on some of the dials. Maybe that's maybe I haven't set the headset up properly yet, but I don't know if it's just one of those things. Anyway, we've got a bit of cloud to contend with here, so we're going to be doing a lack of visuals in a minute as we hit the cloud. Hopefully we'll come out the other end of this in one piece. There shouldn't be anything on the ground. It's 5,000 feet. We'll just keep going straight ahead, just watch our instruments, make sure we're not rolling, getting into a silly attitude, which we actually are. There we go, let, see? That's what happens when you go into cloud. You start to lose which way up is right. Okay, so let's just make sure we stick to the flight plan today. And looking out over the Falklands, looks pretty realistic from what I remember. There's a reason it's called the Falkland Islands, because obviously you've got two main islands, east and west, but then dotted around the place there are lots of little tiny islands. Virtually none of them inhabited by anything. other than maybe colonies of penguins, birds, seals. Who knows? We are getting blown off our flight plan a little bit here. Not too far. Bringing it round. So we're going to probably level off at about 10,000, I imagine. Around about here. Just let the aircraft settle down. And go. So we've still got a fairly good throttle going on. 70%, yep, 70% torque. All our pressures and temperatures are in the green, which is good. So this is the eastern side of West Falkland. Just about to pass over. As you can see, I'm probably just slightly off the flight plan here, but it's coming towards us, so no dangers there. A little bit of a sound glitch. Still getting these sound glitches, which is obviously something to do with the bitrate transfer between the desktop streamer app on my PC and the headset itself. I will find a setting at some point that makes it all better. If you stand by for a second, I'll just bring up my current settings so we can have a shufty. I need to try and maintain. There we go. So those are my current frame rates and settings and things. So I'm getting 80 frames, well, so between 70 and 80 frames per second. Latency is a little bit high. I do have this space warp thing on automatic, which means that it sometimes kicks in, which it is now. Render resolution 80%. I've got the headset set as the Quest 3 and the codec is the HEVC. So yeah, I mean the settings I think are right. So I've actually got automatic bitrate selected again. I did have it off the other day, but I've got it back on again. Yeah, I don't know. The settings are they are annoying when you don't get the right sort of performance. I'm just going to zoom this one out a bit so I can see the flight plan there a bit more. The wind is definitely trying to get me to go a little more to the west. Fighting it. So we're a little bit high here. I said we set about 10,000 and we're up to 11, but that's no danger. It is, however, a very lovely day. We are now across the is it Falklands Sound, which is the bit of water in the middle, and heading towards Mount Pleasant, MPA, RAF Mount Pleasant Airfield, which was built very shortly after the conflict here in 1982. All we had at the time during the conflict, or shortly after, was the airfield in Stanley. So the Mount Pleasant Airfield was built shortly after that to accommodate the long-range transports and cargo and refuel and all sorts of aircraft that were coming in. Decently long runway. I think just about anything can land here. I think we're passing over. Is that? We seem to be passing over. Maybe it's a small airfield. Have a little look. Don't see anything there. Yep, we're flying upside down. And if you don't believe me, there you go. And miraculously still sticking to the flight path. So we'll just roll out of that and we should be on our way into Mount Pleasant. Let me just fire down this. I'll tell you what, we won't go through that cloud there. We'll just skirt around this cloud so we can maintain some visibility. So if we carry on to the end of the land mass just there, we'd get to Stanley, which is on the extreme east of the island. Where we're going is RAF Mount Pleasant. should be virtually straight ahead now. I believe I can start. Is that the runway in front of me? Is that a runway ahead? I think it might be, yep. So we've got the runway pretty much dead ahead now. So with that in mind, we can start to think about getting set up for landing. Probably the first couple of things to do is pop our, oops, where's my mouse gone? Pop our lights on. Pop our lights on. We could think about what kind of speed are we doing? Not too bad, we've still got a bit of height to lose. But, not doing too bad. So the head-up display almost shows you where you will land. The horizontal line with the circle on it is basically the pointing, the aim marker. Where it is just there is on the end of the runway, so that's where you want to keep it if you can. I'm probably not that skilled. I'm definitely not that skilled. So for it to be there is, it's travelling up the runway now, is ideal. So I'm going to put some flap in, and it immediately goes up because it generates more lift. I'm going to throttle back just a tad, 1200 feet, still a bit high I think. So we're going to bring out, I'm going to think about getting the gear down. There's our gear in transit. That will give us a bit more. We've got 3 greens and full flap for landing. So now our speed is bleeding off quite a bit. Got our target in sight, the end of the runway there, looking good on the descent, maybe a little bit left of centre. Bring it back over a bit. And then straighten up on that probably. We're showing 3 reds on the pappy, which means we're a little bit low, but not too worried. We can maintain that, and then anyway, looking like a reasonable approach. The wind is still trying to move us off to the left, but light it a little bit. We've now got 4 reds on the pappies, which means we are too low, but it doesn't feel that way. So we'll get over the threshold. A little flare going on, just about there. Holding it, and softest, most nicest landings. Ooh, can I get around that corner? Yabba dabba doo. No, I can't. Right, okay. Get out of that. We'll turn this way. We'll put our nose wheel steering on. Dispense with the flaps. And we'll get ourselves parked up over here, next to where we're going to park next to today. Is that an A400? I think it is. Why don't we park next to the A400 today? Oh, let's have a look up it. Oh, we've got some. Oi, oi, oi. Got some. Oh no, this nose wheel steering is so annoying. I'll have a nose and see what the movers are doing. There you go. That's a good parking spot. What's he got on there? Not a lot. No, some propeller planes. Don't look like A400 propeller planes. US something. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for that. Catch you next time.